Halloween night in 1963, in the suburban town of Haddonfield, Illinois, 6-year-old Michael Myers stabs his teenage sister Judith to death with a chef's knife. For 15 years, Michael is incarcerated at Smith's Grove Sanitarium, during which time he never speaks a word. On October 30th, 1978, Michael's psychiatrist, Dr. Samuel Loomis, arrives to the sanitarium to escort Michael to a court for a hearing. Loomis hopes that Michael will be imprisoned for life. Michael escapes Smith's Grove and steals Loomis's car and escapes, killing a mechanic for his coveralls on the way back to Haddonfield. Upon arriving, he steals knives, ropes, and a white, expressionless mask from a hardware store. On Halloween, Michael sees high school student Laurie Strode drop off a key at the long-abandoned Myers house that her father is trying to sell. Laurie notices Michael stalking her throughout the day, but her friends Annie Brackett and Linda Vanderklock dismiss her concerns. Loomis arrives in Haddonfield and finds Judith's tombstone missing from the cemetery. He meets with Annie's father, Sheriff Lee Brackett, and they investigate Michael's house, where Loomis tells Brackett that in the 15 years that he has known Michael, he has realized that he's pure evil. Loomis and Brackett find a dead, partially eaten dog in the house, furthering Loomis' suspicion that Michael is in Haddonfield. Brackett is doubtful of the danger, but goes to patrol the streets, while Loomis waits at the house, expecting Michael to return. That night, Laurie babysits Tommy Doyle, while Annie babysits Lindsay Wallace across the street. Michael follows them, spying on Annie and killing the Wallace's dog. Tommy sees Michael from the windows and thinks he is the boogeyman, but Laurie does not believe him. Annie later takes Lindsay over to the Doyle house to spend the night, so she can pick up her boyfriend Paul. When she gets into her car, Michael appears from the back, strangling her and slitting her throat. Soon after, Linda and her boyfriend Bob arrive at the Wallace house and find it empty. After having sex, Bob goes downstairs to get a beer, where Michael kills him by pinning him to the wall with a kitchen knife. Michael then poses as Bob in the ghost costume and confronts Linda, who teases him to no effect. Annoyed, she calls Laurie to find out what happened to Annie, but Michael strangles her to death with a phone cord, while Laurie listens on the other end, thinking it's just a joke. Loomis discovers the stolen car and searches the streets. Suspicious of the phone call, Laurie goes to the Wallace house and finds her friends' bodies, as well as Judith's headstone in the upstairs bedroom. She flees to the hallway, where Michael appears in the darkness and slashes her arm, causing her to fall over the stairway banister. Dazed and injured, Laurie manages to escape and run back to the Doyle house, but finds she lost the keys to the front door during the altercation with Michael. Tommy lets her into the house. Laurie orders Tommy and Lindsay to hide and tries to use the telephone for help, only to find the phone is dead. Michael sneaks in through the window and attacks her again, but she incapacitates him by stabbing him in the neck with a knitting needle. Thinking he is dead, Laurie staggers upstairs to check on the children, but is shocked when Michael approaches to attack her again. She tells the children to hide in the bathroom while Laurie hides in the bedroom closet, but Michael finds her. Laurie pokes his eye out with a coat hanger, causing Michael to drop the knife, which Laurie uses to stab him in the chest. She then tells Tommy and Lindsay to go down the street to a neighbor's house to call for the police. After they leave, Michael awakens once again and slowly approaches an unsuspecting Laurie. Loomis sees the children running from the house and goes to investigate, only to see Michael attempting to strangle Laurie. Laurie snatches Michael's mask off, distracting him as he seeks to put it back on. Loomis shoots Michael once in the head and 5 more times in the chest, knocking him off the balcony. Laurie asks Loomis if Michael was in fact the boogeyman, which Loomis confirms. Loomis walks to the balcony and looks down to see that Michael has vanished. Unsurprised, he stares off into the night as Laurie sobs. The nightmare has just begun.